You know who my next guest is. There's no one quite like Diego Sanchez in MMA, and that's why we love having him here on the program here for MiddleEasy. He's going to be taking on Donald Cerrone coming up here at UFC Fight Night on May 8th. Diego, how are you this afternoon?
Doing well. Excited about everything that's to come in the future, and excited to talk to you here on this outlet.
Let's start first with the decision to retire. What brought you to that? Why was this the right time to step away from the sport after this fight?
Well, you know, it's a lot of thought and just being real, being honest with myself, and having understanding of this sport and what it really is. And so at 39 years old, you know, I feel like this is a great fight. Cowboy Cerrone, another legend. He's close to my age. I believe he's only 1 year younger. So, you know, to have a matchup like that, and it just feels right. It feels like it's the right time. And, you know, I've witnessed a lot in these 17 years with the UFC. And in witnessing all this that I've seen, it's like I've seen fighters that they just go out on not on their own terms. Mm-hmm. They go out most of the time desperate, just needing money for a fight, or, you know, just trying to ride the wheels till the wheels fall off, like Rashad did, or, you know, many others, you know, Chuck Liddell. So just there's been so many that I've witnessed that they just get knocked out, and then they get cut and they get pushed out by the UFC. They get cut and they get dropped from the organization, and they just end on a low note. And I'm not trying to end on a low note. I'm looking to end on a high note and end on my own note and be like, you know what? I was in the UFC longer than any other fighter, and with that, I've just gone through so much, and at the end of my career, I've been able to somewhat truly peak in a way that I haven't been able to show in my last couple fights. You know, I haven't got to show the transformation, the dynamic transformation that I've gone through in training with Joshua Fabia, and really learning how to defend myself and learning how to strike. It doesn't happen overnight, and so it's been 2 years of of growing pains and going through changes. And I feel like I'm a true martial artist at this time, and I feel that Cowboy's the right opponent to end this story. You know, he has the most finishes, he has the most fights, he has the most knockdowns. The guy is really a dangerous man, and I was excited to get the signature on the contract and fight a legend like Cowboy. So, you know, it's the right fight to call it, and I'm just being honest with myself, to be honest with you.
No, love that. Great explanation there. And I love the way you outlined it there, going out on your own terms. That doesn't happen often. So good on you for recognizing that. I know that's, your support system and yourself sort of coming to that decision. So it's really great to see. Let me ask you this, though. You've spent years training in the same gym as Cowboy Cerrone. Did you ever think at any time you two would fight, just with, how long you've known each other?
Since I met Donald, I remember when he was just Donald before the cowboy hat and all the crazy stuff. When I met Donald, I remember the first time we sparred and had a good little spar, and just remember backing him up with the jab and taking him down and dominating in the grappling. And as he transformed over the years, he excelled and got better and better and better, as I did myself. And we ended up both going our own ways, leaving Jackson's, and I never really saw myself fighting Cowboy, as we both were either fighting at 155 or at 170, and sometimes I was at 170 and he was at 155. Sometimes he was at 170 and I was at 155. So we never thought we were really going to have to fight, because we were actually cool with each other. We never were buddy, and we never hung out, but had respect in the martial arts community. We had respect in the New Mexico community as what we like to consider ourselves as warriors of the octagon. And no, we knew, if we had to fight, we would fight. But it was never something that we ever planned on doing. It just happened to work out like that in the end. And, with Sean Shelby and the difficulties I was having in coming to an agreement with Sean and getting a just opponent for my final outing in the octagon, it was a struggle, to be honest with you. And in the end, I got the name, and the name was Cowboy. So, here we are. We're about to get down and do this fight. And I'm excited for it, but I never thought I'd be fighting Cowboy. But he's the legend. I'm the legend, and we're going to put on a legendary fight for all the fans, and we're excited to do it.
I'm looking forward to it. Now, let me ask you this. You talked about how you guys used to train together, and then, some stuff happened. Where are you guys now? Is there any animosity towards him, outside of this fight?
I don't have any animosity for Cowboy. Mm-hmm. He's his own type of individual. I was a little thrown back at the comment he made. I do not think Diego is a legend like myself. I don't put him in the legend category. And Diego is just going to be another highlight on my highlight reel. Mm-hmm. So these were his words when he signed the bout agreement. So when he wanted to discredit me and not value me and maybe even overlook me, mm-hmm. because from what I've seen in my research and my investigation of Cerrone, he hasn't taken me very serious. And he has been racing car races, riding motorcycles, dirt bikes, going out hunting turkeys, and from this to that to this to that. But he's not really putting the time and the energy and the focus on the battle that he has signed with me.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's interesting. Now, training camp, how have you structured things? I know last time we spoke, I believe you were out in Vegas. You're working with Stephan Bonner. I know when we set this up, I know you're on Mountain Time. So are you back in Albuquerque right now? What's training camp looking like?
Yeah, I'm back in Albuquerque right now, and training camp is done. The hay is in the barn, and my body is healthy, and I'm really proud of that. I'm really proud of how I actually feel right now, because throughout this career, man, I've established some injuries, man, like, the elbow hurts. Oh, man, the hip hurts. The knee hurts. Like, oh, it's the neck. But, with my trainer that does a lot of work on me, body work and healing work and this school of self-awareness stuff that I've been talking about for the last couple of years, I really, truly have been able to heal my body to where I feel great. I feel like I'm leaving the sport more healthy than I was when I came into the sport. And I feel great. Everything feels good. I've passed all my medicals, and I'm ready to go for this fight, man. It's really something that I truly am proud of in how I feel going into this fight. And knowing that this would be my last fight camp, right? Knowing that I would go into the last fight camp of my career, that I would make the walk down to the UFC octagon one last time and have the ability to give the fans one last performance. That was my motivation for the discipline that I would put in for this training camp. Not only that Cowboy is a dangerous fighter and could kick you in the head and really hurt you, I've took a head kick before. BJ Penn put 25 stitches on
I remember that fight. Yeah,
my left frontal lobe. So I've been there. I've done that, and motivation for this fight was there, and I put in 100 days of solid dedication and discipline like never before. Fighting this camp, 100 days out, sober sober.
Nice.
And so with that, I just feel very confident in where I'm at mentally and physically, emotionally, and going into this fight, I truly do want to just show the best version of myself at the end and do something that I haven't seen any other fighters do, and that's come into the sport young and hungry, go through the ups, go through the downs, fight for the world championship, lose it, and then at the end of his career, totally reinvent myself. An
Excellent.
old dog learning new tricks, go into this fight healthy, and finish this career on a high note. Like regardless of the outcome of the fight, I know that I put in the best training camp while I went down to Florida, and I trained at American Top Team with many other legends like Tibau and Poirier and just name after name after name. They got a great squad down there. And me and Fabia, we've been doing our training camps, just us two, bringing in other people, like Bonner, and bringing in other people that we needed fit for whatever task and goal that we had in our mind. And so to go down there to Florida and just catch that vibe of, the state being open, and just being able to get the training with other UFC fighters other great UFC fighters. And with that being said, I'd like to officially announce my corners, because
let's hear it.
The last fight, I brought in Stephan Bonner, and that's my brother, and if I was in a main event spot, I would have Stephan Bonner right there with me, because I love him, and he's my tough roomie. And I love that brother. But this fight's a little different. And while going down to South Miami to hook up with another great friend of mine, a good brother, Luis Palomino.
Oh, nice.
Who is currently the pound-for-pound best bare-knuckle boxing champion in the world. Yes, this is the guy I went down to train with. And, this guy is he don't only have hands. This guy is a capoeira maestro, and he's got a lot of skills and a lot of talents. People don't know that this is a guy who beat Masvidal. Like, Masvidal getting all the BMF credit, but this guy's one of the real BMFs right here that has been under the radar, putting in wars with Justin Gaethje. I mean, straight up, like,
some of the best fights in that promotion. It was amazing. Yeah.
You go watch some of those wars with Gaethje and Palomino, you'll be like, wow, like, I can't believe I didn't watch this fight before.
Yeah.
And so when hooking up with Palomino, we went down to the world famous Fifth Street Gym, where Muhammad Ali used to train, Bernard Hopkins used to train, down in South Beach, Florida. Palomino introduced me to his trainer, and his trainer is quite the legend himself, Eric El Tigre Castanos. You could look him up too.
I will.
But you won't find too much, because he never learned English. Okay. He only speaks Spanish. And the language barrier and other reasons, the gym politics of Florida, he isn't so known in the mainstream. But yet this is the man who gave Yoel Romero his amazing striking. This is the man who gave Masvidal his clean striking. He built the base. He laid the foundation bricks at Young Tiger's foundation for Masvidal to be the great striker that he is today. And these are stories that are untold to the common fan. You go down to South Beach, Miami, and you talk to the Latino community that's all Spanish. You're gonna get El Tigre, 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 Tigre. And this guy was 41-1 professional kickboxer, and at 52 years old, this guy held the mitts for me, and this was the best mitt holder that I ever came across in my entire career. Even my trainer Joshua Fabia, he's never really allowed anybody to hold the mitts for me, because most of these jokers be holding the mitts wrong and not moving and just staying in one place. This guy's all over the place. He's throwing head kicks at you. If you don't move, you're going to get hit. He's getting your reactions. He's getting your movements, and also implementing the ambidextrous style that I have now acquired in fighting, not switch stance, but both stance. I fight both stances now, so this is a new evolution of the sport that if you see a lot of these young guys, most of the guys are training from a young age to fight switch stance, both stance, and it's a whole another level of fluid movement, being able to step forward and step back and be able to attack, defend, and move, not only forward and back, but also side to side, all angles, work the V angle, and many other things. But Eric El Tigre, he's an awesome cornerman. I'm excited to have him in there with me, and he's going to come out. We're gonna hit one more week of pads, and we're going to get to work, and we're going to go out there. And I don't know what Cowboy's been doing other than all his cool stuff, because he told me, I watched this video the other night, and it's like this. He says, if it's fun and it makes your asshole pucker, that's what he's doing.
Right.
So riding all those cars and doing all this dangerous shit, putting the fight on the line where you might injure yourself because you're not taking it serious, and dipping and drinking Budweiser. Well, I've been sober, clear-minded, just getting ready, focused on you. I might not be the funnest guy, but I might make your asshole pucker, Cowboy. So get ready to cowboy up, because I'm ready and I'm excited, and let's do this. Let's do this fight, and come on, UFC, let's put this together. We put the work in. We put the work in. We went to Florida. We went to Vegas. Not to mention, we finished the camp out in Colorado, Grand Junction, Colorado, training with Andrew Yates, who's another name.
The Golden Boy. I know Andrew Yates.
Oh, yep. You know Andrew?
I do know Andrew. Does he still have the long walks? I know he was back in the day.
The guy has so many fights.
Yeah.
The guy, he emulated his style after Cowboy.
Yeah.
And Cowboy didn't treat him too well. Well, he went out there and trained at the camp. He didn't treat him too respectful. He didn't give him the respect he deserved, and that went sour. But Andrew's my boy. Andrew's my homie. I met him at the UFCPI. He had the balls to come seek me out, come find me and Joshua Fabia, and be like, I want to train with you guys. I heard you were here. And so that's where our relationship started, and it sprouted into something special. And Andrew Yates, he's got 50 amateur fights. He has more fights than me. So the guy has the experience. He's been in there, and he played a perfect cowboy for me. We got some good work. And so we went to Florida. We went to Colorado. We went to Vegas. We put a lot of time, energy, and investment into this training camp, understanding and knowing that this would be the last hoorah in the UFC octagon.
Very cool. The Diego Sanchez World Tour. I love it. Might as well go out strong, like you were saying, for the retirement fight, right? So
yeah, thanks to our sponsors, Hytiva. Let me get my little mask on.
Go ahead.
You got masky.
There you go.
Get my little mask on. Straight up.
Yeah.
Hytiva, Cannabis on Demand. We got to give them the huge shout out, because they're doing huge things in the medical marijuana industry, and with Albuquerque and New Mexico just going recreation and opening up to this new market of medical marijuana and recreational marijuana. The fit was perfect. I've used cannabis throughout my entire career to help with many things. And I look at it as a natural plant medicine that is a blessing from the Mother Earth, and I'm here to endorse and support it at the same time. And also working with brain health awareness. And so working with brain health awareness and Hytiva together, we've been able to put an amazing camp together, including stopping down in Sylvia, North Carolina, and paying a a week-long visit to my good buddy Spencer Fisher, Spencer the King. Shout out to the King. I hope you see this. King. I love you. I appreciate you. I hope you're doing good. Call me. Hit me up. I miss you. And we put a good weekend there at Spencer's gym, Glory MMA in Sylvia, North Carolina. We put a good weekend there with him, working privates, helping his class, working the class, teaching the class, just supporting this guy. And, he's in another battle that is a much bigger battle than any of us UFC fighters could ever imagine. We go into the cage and we fight another man. He's in a fight for his life. He's fighting dementia. And so with what I've gained access to with School of Self-Awareness and how that helped me, at the end of my career, get my mind, my body, my spirit, my soul connected and put it all together to where, you could watch some of my interviews from 10 years back and they were pretty shitty. And I was stuttering and I was getting my words wrong. And I'm not amazing ventricle word analysis.
I know what you're trying to say. Yeah.
I could still speak. And I got a good head on my shoulders, and I wanted to give this to Spencer because, I just hit him up. I was like, hey, man, are you open to it? He's like, I'll do anything. I was like, all right, I'm going to come out there. I'm going to come see you then. And so I went out there. We did some meditations. We did some breath work. We did some healing work. And we just dedicated a week of our time, me and Joshua Fabia, to going out there and serving. It wasn't about me. It wasn't about Josh. It wasn't about Haitiva. It wasn't about anything but just going out there serving and being a good human being, and portraying that to his gym and to his people and to Sylvia, North Carolina, and letting them know that, hey, man, there are some people out there in the world that still do care for things that are right and things that are good and things that are honest and true.
I got two more quick questions. I know we're over time, but I just wanted to quickly ask you. We're wearing the OnlyFans shirt. I know. I know you had announced that you were going to be doing some stuff on OnlyFans without giving anything away, obviously, because obviously that's your brand. It's behind a paywall. What is the OnlyFans? What can people get when they sign up?
OnlyFans,
I know what OnlyFans is, but I mean, like, what content do you have on there?
A ton of free content. It'll blow your mind. I for all the people who don't know. It's really it's a platform that is verified, and we're using this platform as something that is almost everything on there is free. So it's basically just like going to YouTube, going to Instagram, and watching some videos behind the scenes, the stuff that you've never seen before on Instagram or YouTube. Mm-hmm. But when you go to OnlyFans, you're gonna see more than you ever would see on Instagram or IG, because Instagram and IG, they're a money system, and if you ain't paying them money, they're not letting your posts get seen. Your likes aren't the real true likes. The YouTube views aren't the real true. It's not the truth, man. Mm-hmm. The internet is not what you think it is. All you people out there, and when this does eventually truly get exposed, people are going to be like, oh, well, where can we see the real? And I'll tell you right now, the only place that I've found is OnlyFans, and it has nothing to do with sexual. This is a non-sexual site for me and what I do on there. And it's really, truly about the fans, because there are some fans. There are some real fans who have been inspired, motivated, and they're fans. They love what I've done in my career, and they love the character that I am. And so for those people that are true fans, hit me up in the OnlyFans. You could talk on the DM. There's training, stories, behind the scenes, School of Self-Awareness inside, and insight. There's a lot about me and who I've become, in these last 2 years, and it really truly has been a transformation.
And this kind of ties into my my last question. Sorry to interrupt you there. The plans for post-retirement, I'm sure you've thought of that, and OnlyFans is part of that, where you're building an empire here with what the content that you're creating. What else do you have planned for retirement yet? Because I'm sure you've thought of that after your fighting career is over.
Well, I have a lot of things in play, and I'm gonna have to keep that private.
That's a teaser. I like that. I like that. Gets people interested.
I'm gonna have to keep that private because I do live a private life also, and my life after the UFC, my life after the octagon, is going to be a Diego life. We're not Diego Sanchez, the Ultimate Fighter, not Diego Sanchez, the Nightmare, not Diego Sanchez, the Ultimate UFC champion fighter, whatever. It's going to be just plain old Diego and my life is going to be private. But I do have some things in store. I will be heading out to the Lab Martial Arts Fitness Center, Nick Jones, out in Easton, Maryland. I got an exhibition grappling match going with a young stud out there. After the seminar, we're going to do a competition-style exhibition match. And we have a lot of other things that are in the near future, like the Mi Vida Loca film with Mickey Rourke, and also my partnership with Teresa Tapia and Tapia Sanchez Promotions. So there's a lot of things that I have working on and that are in play. But as for now, if you are interested in learning about me or this transformation and what's allowed me to transform, you can always contact me at the SOS site to set up a seminar. And I'm going to be traveling. I'm going to be traveling the world. I'm going to be working. And I also want to really, truly help the next generation of not only fighters, but just humans, the next generation of humans, because I've made a ton of mistakes on my journey. I mean, like, every mistake that you could make, I've made those mistakes. And I want to work with this next generation. I want to work with substance addiction recovery and helping these kids and giving them direction from a tough love perspective like I've gone through. And, so thank you, James. And shout out to all my fans. Hit me up on the OnlyFans. And I love you guys.